All right, we're live. Howdy, folks. Cody here from IronVerse Comics, doing a IronVerse Comics interviews. I'm here with Scott.
Good to be here.
All right, and we're here to talk about Wrath, a new indie comic project from Wicked Publishing. And why don't you tell them a little about yourself and your project?
Well, I've been working on the project for almost 2 years now. Big fan of like anime, comics, all sorts of stuff. Kind of cut my teeth on Batman the animated series and the X-Men series when I was, you know, well, let me think, early teens. So definitely have a lot of storytelling and stuff in my background, especially with when it comes to like heroes and comics. Um, so that's kind of the roots for where I'm starting, and then some of the things I'm dealing with in my adult life kind of mixed into my love of storytelling, and that's where Wrath came in, which is the story of a young man who discovers he has the ability to manifest all this negative energy that he's had from his traumatic childhood. He had an abusive father, so all that anger, resentment, regret has just been festering inside him, and through a very tragic evening, he kind of stumbles upon this power.
Oh, okay. So, I'm kind of so what? I think the vibes I'm getting, it's not quite a kind of a hero's journey kind of bit. It's more of a like a psychological exploration piece.
There's a hero's journey involved, but it's not like a cape or
Yeah.
traditional hero. Um, you know, he's for one thing, he's not really out there specifically himself. But we'll explore that as the
Very
series
cool.
goes.
All right.
But yeah, it is definitely tied to emotions, how they can influence us and really either drive us down or propel us forward is one of the
Okay.
big themes I want to tell with Wrath.
All right. No, that's right up my alley. Um, so with the visual direction. So what I'm gonna do here, I'll go to the Indiegogo here, and let me copy this, and I will toss it into chat for folks to go and back Wrath. Um, it's running. It's live right now. You can snag some of it for yourself. Oh, it looks like Dollar Coins is here. Welcome, Dollar. Thank you so much for showing up. Um, Talking with Scott from Wrath. Um, so we should be looking at the Indiegogo, if I have that right. Yep, there we go. You're looking for 1,600 fixed goal, which it's a no risk for the backers, which is always great. That's what I prefer if, as a backer myself. I got double 19s going on. 19 backers got you up to 923. Out of that, you're over half. That's awesome. 19 days left. Um, I'm assuming, I feel like this started very recently, so I'm assuming there is a possibility of extension if that was to come up for any reason, which is very cool. But
Yeah,
but I assume folks get on it quicker because if it can end quicker, he can get to work on it quicker, get it to you faster.
yeah, that's definitely the idea. I'm not going to extend to make more than I need. If I get goal, we go in demand and we start cranking this thing out. I want to get it to my backers as soon as possible.
That's the way to do it. I can't, I knew the feeling. I hit the hills, but there's there's a lot of things that'll come up with that, but I am certain that you've got the experience with Wicked behind you to help make sure that gets to folks. So,
Yeah, that's a big factor, I think, in what's going to be my ultimate success here, and just what's been driving me forward this far as well.
right on. So before I get into the chunk of this campaign, because I kind of do want to go through and maybe I don't know if you're watching the YouTube, so because you can't probably see my the video I'm doing because I'm just using StreamYard to communicate, but I'm actually broadcasting through OBS so I can kind of control the windows. But we're looking at your campaign page, and before I get to the chunk, which is the story you put together here in the pitch, um, what has been your inspiration for trying to choose your artist, your visual style that you want to represent this story?
I mean, like I've always kind of been influenced in this project by manga and the storytelling there. So I kind of wanted to go away from kind of the traditional, like Western comic style. I wanted it to be a kind of a hybrid, like an East meets West. And I'm also doing that with how I plan on printing as well. With because
Oh, did I lose you?
sorry, did you lose me there?
I might have lost you for just a second. It went quiet
All right.
right after the word
Oh, sorry.
with my printing, and you had me on bated breath. I wanted to know
Oh.
what's this thing that what's this printing angle he's got here. I'm very interested.
So Wrath is planned for 6 chapters, a six chapter arc, and it is going to be crowdfunded throughout as much as I need to, and I want to try and minimize that. But as far as the printing goes, I'm going to print it six individual like Western style floppies, but the trade paperback is going to be more of like a manga style with like the paper we use and everything.
Oh, more like a volume of a manga. I like that.
Yeah,
Is it going to be that
that's
size
the idea
too? Is
there.
it going to be the smaller size too?
I think so.
Very
Is
cool.
we got to work out the details with
Yeah, of
with
course.
Wicked, but that is the general idea.
Very cool. So I'm looking at this page here, and it almost looks like a alternate universe Jay and Silent Bob rolled up on our hero here.
Yeah, I get that a lot. That's kind of a funny story.
Yeah.
Because the concept artist Drew just kind of went off what I was writing and basically some of the what she kind of visualizes like the thugs from her hometown growing up.
Oh, okay.
And so basically, when I said, "Oh, try not to make him look too much like Jay and Silent Bob," when she was showing me like, she's like, "Who's that?"
Oh, there you go. That's funny. That's funny. You put it into her head, man, without her even knowing.
Well, that is the other funny thing too. Is when I was writing this, I was just like, "Did I just write Jay and Silent Bob?" No, because like they don't talk like them,
Yeah, yeah.
and like, and then it just translated that way.
Yeah, no. And this is just so the tonal. If we were reading through this, I'm certain it would be the same thing as me just scrolling through it, seeing something recognizable. Also, so that's a whole nother part of it. But yeah, like these panels too. It doesn't. It's just that one shot. It's because of the lighting, I think. Um, but yeah, it looks like he does not have an easy time of it. It ends not so bueno for our
Yeah,
hero.
yeah, and that's kind of like you see him dwelling on his past a little bit before that happens, and then you've got this new trauma, and like the two of those
Uh,
combined kind of like are the catalyst to what brings out
oh.
what we're affectionately calling the rage puppy.
Ooh, the rage puppy. So the rage puppy here, it looks like okay. I think you cut off the pages at the right point because it's right there, huh? We're gonna. Oh, that's very cool. So you got to back it to see it, folks. If you want to see this rage puppy manifest from Silent Bob's kick to the gut of this little kid, this is the way to do
Well,
it.
if you scroll back up, we do have a preview page of what the rage puppy is gonna look like on the actual
There
page.
we go.
Um,
Right here, I believe it's blue. It's one of the spots of color that's going to be in your book, or is it not in the actual print?
in the actual print, it's gonna be everything's gonna be grayscale except
Okay.
the creature. The
Oh
creature's gonna
no.
be the only
Okay. There we go.
is
No.
the only color. There's some things that I wanted to do with the creature that only worked in color. And
Oh.
also, it kind of adds to that otherworldliness, like it doesn't belong there.
Yeah, no, I like that angle a lot. Um, and it's I like that it's a cool tone also. It's not like you didn't make him a bright red or like an orange or anything. Uh, that kind of reminds me of that's what they tend to do when it's a spot of color. It's usually red. So I like seeing the cool tone there because it really brings it the focus there, but it doesn't hit you super strong. It makes it feel more otherworldly than say like in the red dots in like a Schindler's List or Sin City or those little spots of color. I don't see blue. That's very cool.
Yeah. Well, there may be some red, but I can't elaborate too much on that without spoiling things.
Oh, so there's got to be touches of color for the tone of the book to emphasize moments. Very cool. Very cool. Um, so you went through the 6 chapter bit here. Again, Wrath is a tale of a beast that can be formed from childhood trauma and the person's journey through that experience. Um, 35 pages gets you grounded. Oh, so he doesn't remember much of the experiences either.
Yeah, he's. I'll give you a little bit. Like he does not like. A lot of people think that the puppy's gonna jump out like right there. No, he's gonna get up and then drag his ass home and sulk
Oh.
and then it's gonna come out while he's asleep. It's a subconscious thing.
Oh, okay. I like that. Okay. Um, as the dream. Okay. Um, One of the themes of Wrath is that while we may not have any control over some of the things that happen to us, or the emotional and psychological toll they take, we do have a choice on how we let those things guide us in our lives. Do we let them drag us down, drive us to seek revenge and hurt others, or do we use them to make a difference and help protect those in need? I love that paragraph. That's a great pitch. I love it gives the tone of what kind of journey you're going to be taking in the book, and I want to take that journey. Let's see. Did I happen to lose you one more time?
I think it's something when I like go to a different window on my phone, it like cuts me out. So I'll stop doing that.
Oh, okay. It's no worries. I was just curious, if it's on my end. It's all right. I'm filling the time. Anywho, in between, you might not. Are you hearing me throughout the whole exchange?
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
can hear
okay,
you
cool,
the whole time.
cool, cool, cool,
So
cool.
that's why I'm surprised when it cuts me out. But to emphasize on that paragraph, like I said earlier, I wanted to one of the main keys I wanted to story is how the emotions can drive us, but ultimately, if we can steer them, they can be a great boon to us as well as a hindrance, depending on how much we let them control us. And it also goes into a lot of a theme that I want to kind of display throughout, which is light versus shadow.
Okay, and the grayscale helps emphasize that too. Very cool. And
Yeah, and
go for it, please.
oh, so and then you can even see that on some of the covers too. Like there's a nice split through the variant cover where you have the light and shadow with young Doug, and then the little image of the rage puppy there. And we drew the cover artist also did a really good job
No.
on the standard cover where you have that cone of light coming out of Doug's bicycle, and then you have that shadow of the little rage puppy following him.
Yeah, it's a great piece. Um, oh yeah, that's the best we can get right there. I think on this page. Um, the, they are really wonderful pieces. Now, let's go through your tiers for the heck of it. See what we can go for here. What people can get. How they'll take this journey and how they'll make sure it happens. $5 for a digital copy. Uh, Estimated shipping by February 2020. So yeah, you guys are going for a very quick delivery. I like that.
Yeah, Emilio, the page artist, is he's a beast. Like he just cranks out artwork at a not only is the quality amazing, but it's just phenomenal how quickly he works. So we're looking at like a 10-week timeline once we get our funding, just to get the project finished. Since we've already got pretty much everything else done, we've got both covers. So we just need the 28 pages, and he also does the lettering too. So
Oh,
it'll
nice.
come back from him like ready to go.
Very cool. Yeah, no, his talents with utilizing how it's a great matchup for the story you want to tell in this. His light and shadow skills are incredible in this grayscale. Um, there's just so much variation in the tone it sets. It's just wonderful. This moody page where he's just had the fight, it looks like, or some kind of disagreement with a friend, maybe. And he's getting on his bike on the outside, and just the night sky in the back, and then how he emphasized the lighting on the lampposts and in the windows. It's a very pretty book.
Yeah, and the crazy thing too is he's on multiple projects. He's actually got two projects right now in crowdfunding. He's also the artist on Amundia. But if you look at the style between Wrath and that project, you'd think it was two different artists.
Ah, yeah, that's the way to go. No, that's very cool. Wonderful talents on this book, folks. Wonderful talents on this book. $5 digital copy. All right, standard copy, $10, and I'm assuming shipping, $5, something like that. Let me look. Well, I don't
I
know.
think it's like three
$3.
on that
$3.
one.
Cool. Well, then we don't have to dox myself. That's good. That's good. I almost did it. All right. Signed variant. It's just $5 extra, so he'll sign it, and you'll get this the light shadow variant cover. um,
And I also talk about that in the campaign. It's a special thing just for the backers. So it's only available during the live campaign. So if we go to in demand, it's only going to be the standard copy at that point.
oh, there you go. Okay, so okay. Well, there you go. If you get on it quick, folks. Already 3 people have. Get on that bandwagon. You can get one of each too. $25, which is great. 3 people have done that to get the complete set. Very cool. Um, for 60, only 8 people can get a original piece of art, a sketch from your artist. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's from the concept cover artist Drew.
Okay.
So it'll be a sketch. If you click on that, it'll have like the full details of what she's willing to do. So it'll
Oh,
be
there we go.
a commission piece. You'll also get the every tier comes with the digital copy, by the way. So if you get the standard, the variant, both sketch, whatever, you're gonna get a digital copy.
Very cool.
And then any of the sketches or cameos, those also come with a signed variant.
There we go. Yep. Only 8 of the sketches, though, folks. And now we're on to the illustrations, which is a more elaborate, full color, waist up character commission. Um, Also with a simple background, very cool. You'll get your digital copy. Only 3 of those, folks. Only 3 if you want an original piece of art from this talented artist, right there. Um, and there's the cameo. One person bought in to get a cameo. Very cool. Um, you'll get a likeness or the likeness of a character made into a cameo appearance in the panels as one of the extras. Um, and of course, you don't get any royalties for your glorious mug gracing these wonderful pages.
No, you gotta cover the detail.
Exactly, and of course you'll get your digital copy. You'll get your signed variant, very cool, and you'll get in the book. Very cool. One person has only 4 slots left there, folks. Only 2 slots for the illustration. All the sketches, however, are available if you'd like a simple sketch in the style of your OC. Or an OC of your choice, I'd assume. Go for it. And
That was really interesting because that was one of our more popular ones early on the Kickstarter we tried.
yeah, so that's a great segue. What did you try to do different going from Kickstarter to Indiegogo? What did you learn in that first campaign?
Uh, Not to overreach was probably the biggest one because the goal we set, and again, it was all based on costs. Was like I think 5,400, like 5,400.
Yeah,
Um, and I learned, like I didn't really have enough to show, and that was asking a lot for like a first time project like this. So one of the big things I was trying to do was cut that down as much as possible, and also kind of at the same time generate some more funds to get more work done going into this Indiegogo launch. One of the big things is originally Drew was going to do the whole thing, covers, page work, and everything, and then she kind of confided in me that she didn't feel that she had the necessary skill set to not only get the pages out in a timely manner, but to get them on budget. So we both agreed that she would kind of take a step back and focus on what she does best, which is the cover and concept, character concept work, um, which she's amazing on. She did the original concept for the Rage Puppy here that you see while I'm talking, and also the characters Doug and Nicole. And if you look at the cameo tier, she did those special characters for some people that backed me before the project. You know, that was I'll get into that a little bit more in a second.
Cool.
So she took a step back, and then we started looking for a page artist. And I met a lot of really cool artists along the way. One of the hardest things, and I think you know this, Sting, is having to tell people no. Um, and I think I did pretty well with that because most of the artists that I told no are still talking to me. So um, I felt that I did well there. And then Emilio came along and just blew me away with what he could do, and not only that, but since he works so quickly, the price he could do it at. So that was just like a perfect match for what I was trying to do. And as you mentioned earlier, his work just like really fits the tone of the story, I think. So once we had Emilio on board, I took kind of one of the because one of the big things that really kind of is disheartening, and I think you know this is when you have that failed Kickstarter, all that work you were building up to, like almost just completely gone. Like you don't have anything to really walk away with. And so one of the few things that I picked up from that wreckage, I guess you could call it, was who was willing to back me and how much they were willing to do so. So I approached some friends of mine who really put in a strong backing on the Kickstarter, and kind of pitched them a proposal where I would get them a custom art piece. Their cameo would be a recurring one, um, and that's what got me the funding to get some more page and cover work done for this Indiegogo.
Very cool. Very, very cool. And that's the pair we see here on the tier.
Hmm.
Oh, very cool.
So
There
yeah,
you go.
those are some a couple of buddy of mine that I used to work with, and they had a strong cameo backing in the Kickstarter, so they were completely on board, and here we are in the Indiegogo thanks to them.
Right on. All right, we got one new person in chat. Nicholas, I can't. My glasses might need to be replaced. Dethai, Daethi. Nicholas, glad for coming. Thank you so much. Checking out Wrath. Talking with me and Scott. That's what's up. Going through this wonderful little piece of work. I love. Let's see. What was the part I was looking at over here? I had stumbled through and got lost. All right, where was it? So I was trying to emphasize while you were talking a little bit of these lines here. You were talking about the variant cover is it's limited to the days this campaign is running. If it's successful, which I am 100% hoping it will be, and you're already 57% there. Look at that, 923. You can get on this, folks, and you're going to get your comic. Um, but it could only be 19 days this variant cover is available. You get the variant cover through any of the high-level backings, or you can even get it signed. Are all the yeah, I guess all of them are signed, even at the $25 level. All the
Yeah, if you're getting a variant, it's going to be signed. I'm taking advantage of the fact that I'm within driving distance of where Wicked ships out from,
oh,
so
there you go.
it's very easy for me to just stop on by when Michael gets all the comics and just start signing.
Very cool. See, that's a rarity, folks. That's a rarity. It's very hard for these creators around the world to kind of get that. That's one of the things. A lot of people want these signed comics, and so that's an extra shipping cost. And especially for smaller creators, that can be very difficult depending on how you're going about it. If you're printing to yourself and shipping out, then that's fine. But if you're going through a third-party publisher, I'm assuming that's even through some crowdfunded Image and Dynamite books. It would be very difficult to get signed copies unless there's a lot of money behind. And so that's very cool. It's a rarity to be able to do that, and you can back this project with the author's signature on there. Very cool. Let's see. I'd like to open it up to questions if anybody is. Let me check. I'm gonna switch on over here. I'm gonna check where we're at here. It seems like there might be 4 folks watching. That's cool. If anybody has questions for the wonderful talents here, please go ahead and ask. Otherwise, Scott, is there anything else you kind of wanted to talk about your project?
Well, we also have the art contest going on.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Give me a minute, and I will kind of pull up some tweets on that at least. But go ahead and tell folks about the art contest.
Yeah, so we're having an art contest. It's mostly on Twitter. And the idea behind the art contest is a lot of them usually like, oh, here, draw my character doing this, or something along the lines of that, drawing the main characters from the story that the art contest is involved with. My original idea, and my buddy Salem actually approached me with the same idea. That's why I felt like I might have been onto something. Is to kind of put the creativity into the artist hands. So the theme is on point with what I'm trying to tell with the story, but the what you're actually drawing as the artist is entirely up to you. And the idea is if you had an emotion that you could manifest, what emotion would that be, and what would it look like?
Oh, very cool. Okay. No, I like that. Um, so with that on theme, I found one example, but is there a genuine, no, a general, let's combine those 2 words, a general tweet about the art contest that I'm just missing?
Yeah, give me a second. I've kind of moved over
Right on.
to my computer so I can go through and look at other things without you losing me.
Yeah, gotcha. Oh, howdy, Gorgonite. Right on. He's usually loaded with some solid questions. Um, yes, he already has one, but I'll let you wait. Okay. I'm wondering if it's serious or not. I'm gonna ask it anyway, Gorgonite. JK or not. So you shot that into chat. That's your fault. I don't know. It's gonna be a discussion. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom.
And it also came, going back to Emilio, he did this awesome like promo piece for it too.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I would like to see that. Did you shoot it to me if you can? Because I'm still looking.
Yeah, I'm working on it now.
Cool.
There you go. You should have it.
All right. Yep. Boom. Okay, it's this one. Oh, it's a full. It's a single page comic. Got it. So let me go and show folks this right here. Bet I could do better. I could do better. Not much. It doesn't zoom in much. But Wrath Art Contest. So this was his, I'm assuming then. This is Emilio's entry, kind of.
Kinda. I think he used he used the rage puppy from the story.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So
but
Wrath
that's
Art.
definitely not a Doug. He looks a lot older, so maybe that's Emilio. I don't know what he actually looks like, so maybe that's one of the questions I have for him.
That's a good point. But yep, if you could manifest one of your emotions, what would it look like? We will choose 4 favorites to be printed at the back of Wrath Chapter 1. Right on. I've been liking that. So far, I know of at least now it would be three Wicked projects who are giving the community exposure through the interaction, printing fan arts or the like. In this case, this is kind of a fan art, but I like it that it's more personal. So I don't quite want to call it that, but it's difficult to. It's different. I love it. But yeah, folks, if you're an artist, go ahead and try this. I'll get the tweet up so you guys kind of know what you're looking for. In fact, I think I can.
There's there's
Uh,
also a link to a Google document that has like all the official rules and how to get that to me, and
oh,
also that we want to share these on Twitter as we get them as well, and cite the artist.
got it. Let me see. That's probably in that thread. Going back. But yeah, all right. So the question Gorgonite had asked is, does the main character listen to Linkin Park?
Someone actually asked me this the other day. That's actually a pretty good one. I would probably say that he might be a Linkin Park fan as well. Um, but I think he's like a more of a Blink 182 fan. He's a little bit more lighthearted, I think. Until this happens, it's kind of deeply buried, this resentment and anger he has. It doesn't really bubble to the surface often.
All right. Let's see.
We got dollar coins singing some Linkin Park
Oh,
for us.
that's what it is. I was trying to figure it out. The ramblings of a madman is what it looks like if you're at first glance. Feel, especially. Or fear, excuse me. Nice. So there we go. We get a little extra exposure there to some Linkin Park. But yeah, Wrath, folks. Uh, really a wonderful project. I'm trying to think of any other questions I would have for you. It is domestic only. It looks like ships to U.S.
For right now, and I think you can vouch for that. Is it kind of, I'm trying to keep it simple and get the book out. That's my
Exactly.
number one goal.
Yeah.
Um, if we hit um, goal early, I'm very much considering opening up an international offer once I know I've got what I need to make this happen.
Yeah, and you've got the prices kind of down, and you can now pick what countries too, so that'll help a little bit. Um, but yeah, international shipping, folks, it's real. It's real, and it is very spooky. But
Yeah, because I did one on my Kickstarter, and like the shipping was like 16 or 17 bucks
yeah, and
for two comics. So
yeah, that's a tough sell. That's a very tough sell. They really have to want that book. Uh, so yeah, I see that's been a lot of my problems. Like I'll look at the price and I'll see the 25. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, and then I'll go in and it's 35, and I'm kind of like, that's killed my pulling the trigger on a few projects. It's one of the advantages Jack had, but that was out of just the random weirdness that campaign was, and not so much out of planning. um, but yeah, that's the reasonable prices for shipping, and it's a little bit cheaper shipping too. You went with $3, which is good. It's solid. Of course, digital no shipping. It's just $5. Go ahead and get yourself a digital.
yeah, and that's something I worked with. Like Wicked's got that experience, so I can get accurate numbers, so I don't feel like I'm gouging my backers on the shipping cost.
Yeah, that's a big one. I'll probably do something once Jack Irons 2 campaign is completely done. We know the issues have reached backwards, especially the international ones. That's going to be a trip. Um, then I'm gonna probably do something on the numbers, some kind of stream or video on the numbers, just to kind of get that information out there more publicly, not just to ballpark it more reasonably, because there's a lot of different opinions on what you need, and I'm very curious what it really is, and I'd love to go through with that with my audience and get that information out there, and hopefully help other
Yeah, because
creators. That's the hard
yeah,
bit. The information isn't that easy to find out there, and you'll find so much conflicting information. And that's probably I'll just be adding to that. But uh, I'll know my own experience, so that'll at least give that, and then I can judge the ballpark of other people's a little bit better.
but yeah, that's just because I kind of know shipping prices. I've actually, like you said earlier, I've actually stepped down or away from backing projects just because I know, like, they don't need that much to ship my stuff.
Yeah, it's um, with with some campaigns it was to make up for the international because they didn't do international right. But for a lot of the bigger, more organized stuff, there really isn't much of an excuse for it unless it is a to spot to spot to spot on a signing or something on a signed copy. But even then, it's kind of got to be explicit that the shipping will be increased due to it being shipped 3 or 4 times instead of twice. Um, but yeah, with that, let's see what time. 8:20. We started there, so I don't know. I would like to fill out the hour if we can, but we do not have to. Is there anything else you want to talk to me about, or tell folks watching, or is there any questions from chat? Um, there's one question in chat. Okay, on a scale of 1 lowest to 10 highest, how much of an emotional teenager, i.e., annoying AF, which I don't know the acronym, is the main character? How annoying? Okay, what kind of a whiny teenager is he? I guess is kind of what he's asking. On a scale from
He's
1, which I'd
not
guess not whiny, to 10, which is exceedingly whiny.
so far he's not really too whiny. He more withdraws um instead of like, like it's more of a personal thing. He doesn't like project that into some sort of like high scale, like, oh, but I don't want to kind of thing. He is hesitant to do things sometimes. Like the idea, without going too much into spoilers, the idea of using his powers uh isn't really ideal to him, like to help or to stop someone. um he's a little bit more selfish like that originally. But you're not really going to see too much as far as like whining. um it's going to move along pretty well, and his motivations will be, I believe, very evident once the threat is adequately explained to him, so to speak.
Oh, there you go. No, what?
That's hard. That's real hard to convey that without spilling too much.
Exactly. Reading the book will explain the books. If he's got you interested, that's. I mean, there's definitely a way to guarantee you find out, folks. And that would be to
It's I
back the
will say
campaign.
this: it is definitely not going to be English dub Naruto annoying, where he's yelling "Believe it" like every 5 seconds.
That would be probably on the audience's good graces to continue that way. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. So in full color. So is the blue the only color, or does he shift colors? This rage puppy.
I can't really talk too much about
Oh,
that.
I'm on something. I'm on to something. But no, very cool, very cool. I just noticed word choice is important to me. In blue. No, no, it doesn't say in blue. That's got me intrigued. I want to see what happens there too. Very cool, very cool.
But
Um,
as you can see, like we even did some shading on him there.
yeah,
So yeah, he's not going to show up flat on the page.
yeah, yeah. No, he's still got to be grounded. So the lighting's still got to kind of, he's in this world. He's just not part of this world, and I like that. Okay, okay. How slice of lifey are you going with this? How much time will be, dialogue and this kind of stuff, and how much will be more, this one seems like motivational setup to a journey. Is that kind of where you use the slice of lifey stuff, or?
Yes,
Okay.
I think in the first issue we've got a good balance of like the supernatural with some good action mixed in, and then there's going to be some slice of life as he kind of pieces it together at the end.
Okay.
Issue 2 so far, you're going to get a little bit more of that slice of life stuff, especially because the story's going to evolve around those two characters, Doug and Nicole. So you're going to get a look into how they interact and their relationship. So there'll be a little bit of goofiness and stuff as they're trying to figure out what happened while Doug was asleep that night.
So yeah, this seems like a good. It's not targeting it's targeting a wide audience, which is very cool. You're after people. You want to connect them with those hard emotions, and take them on your journey and your artist journey through exploring those. And that's a great hook. I love that hook. Um,
Right, and one of my big things is I don't want to approach that like heavy-handed. I
yeah.
don't want to like force my ideas about this on the reader. The way I want to present it is how something I always enjoyed about stories when I was growing up is that it gets you to think about it and to come to your own conclusions and how would you deal with this.
Yeah, a good writer believes enough in his idea to present it, not to argue for it. Um, and there's a very thin line, and because argumentative can then isolate the reader, and then you lost a reader. Um,
Yeah,
and
and it's something that I've seen lately in storytelling that I'm not a fan of. You know, like even if it's an idea that I fully agree with, having it like kind of forced down my throat is not a pleasant experience.
that's the bit
You know,
too.
like I like pizza, but I don't like it when you force it into my mouth.
Yeah, no, I would be I'd be sided on with that idea. Um, but yeah, no, exactly, and it's a wonderfully it's a thoughtful story, folks. I'm a big fan of thoughtful stories. I know Wicked is as well. It's kind of thought provoking stories of all genres is one of their slogans, and it's a wonderful addition to the lineup. I really I'm pretty damn sure I'm gonna see this. I have complete faith that this will fund probably well before this 19 days. Um, because it's a very strong project. Um, the again the art is wonderful. It soaks you in, but it's also kind of it's a softer style, so it's not the gray tone kind of grounds it. Um, I've been looking at these pages for the last 45, and I'm still happy scrolling through them. And, comics, particularly if you're trying to do like manga, you get about 4 seconds a panel. For the average reader, and that's all the artist's appreciation for all of this wonder. But if you make something really nice, they're going to read it again and again and again, and they'll appreciate it more and more for the attention to detail and the craftsmanship shown in the work of art. And that applies to any work of art, in my opinion. And
And
this
you've seen
this
the Wicked Easter egg back there on page one, right?
oh, is there boom? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at that, folks. There's two of those, two pop figures, I believe. Or unlicensed Wrath Universe pop figure figures. Put that on a box.
Yeah.
Uh,
Amelia originally put in, like just random superheroes. So I decided to kind of put a little Wicked touch in there and put some of the more classic heroic characters that Wicked has. So we've got a Sporkman and Charger there.
yeah,
Um, and I'll probably slip Jack in there somewhere as well,
that's
along with some of
cool.
the other Wicked characters. I've got some ideas. We'll see if they pan out.
Yes, that would be killer. I appreciate that. We've been able to do it with the Cactus Coyote a little bit, but we haven't. It's been a long campaign. I'm taking a break here shortly. A long set of campaigns. I ground out two of them, and so I'm gonna take a breather for a while from a lot. But until then, I'm you know I love these journeys, and I'll always be going through them, and I'm gonna be happy to return to my own end of it. But this kind of stuff, this is the content I want to see out there, folks. This is the stuff that can stick with people. The stuff that can, a lot of art is just, throwaway, packaging, all these things that a lot of people did put a lot of good work into some of the time, not all the time, but a good amount of the time it's some wonderful art and it just gets tossed. And even manga, that's what it has been for a long time. Is people would read it and then toss it, or it would go, and then other manga would be made out of it, things like that. But there's something to be said of not the physicality of the story, not the paper, not the print, but the story, that communication to a person, and finding these very powerful ideas, these very deep passionate ideas, and being able to communicate that from one person to another is one of the things that keeps humanity going. And these strong tales, this is what we need out there. And I would love to see folks get behind this project, get it funded, get it way overfunded, see what this team can do with a lot of extra funding. I want to see that. I want to see all 6 chapters, and then I want to see what doing those 6 inspires you folks to do. Um,
Yeah, and speaking of, if we do get any overfunding, that is all going into chapter 2. Like, I'm steamrolling it. Like, I'm not putting anything in my pocket. It's all going into production. Um, like, this is, like you said, like, I want to tell this story. I want to see the whole thing done. So the idea is, hopefully we don't have to do a Kickstarter on every single chapter. That's my goal going into this long project. And the way I look at crowdfunding is all my backers are giving me a gift, and it's something that I want to use to its utmost, and not waste it.
well, I mean, see, I tend to fall in agreement with you, but to play with the devil's advocate, I do want to say there's nothing wrong with creators being able to make money off their projects as well. That's the dream, you know. We want to be able to pursue our
Yeah,
dreams and live and eat, but there's also something to be said, which I'm 100% behind it. For the passion coming first, for the art coming first, for the work coming first, because as a fellow artist, I understand that it does matter more. You want to get this idea out, you want to share it, you want to get it done, and work with these people and get something everybody can be proud of out. Favorite part of comics is the collaborative part of it, and
right.
that's both are very valuable, but there's something that you can go too far either way. You can, ruin your life over investing in something that's just not going to pan out because you're too stubborn to adjust, or you can, pocket so much that you can't continue, and then you end up in a lot of places. That's the most common, is that they pocket too much and then the project sits for years. So far, I haven't worked with any creators like that, and I haven't been around or backed any creators like that. And I'm very proud to say that, because uh, that's the kind of creators I want to support. I want to support those who want to get that project into these, and they're micro investors, even though it's more like purchasing. It's a hybrid concept. I don't have my idea around it morality wise 100%, but it's somewhere between an investment and a purchase. That's what it is. And
Yeah.
within both, there's a certain level of respect that the product needs to get to that person. That's the main thing. They already gave you this, so give them that. And to do it in the most expedient manner, which it looks like the folks over here at Wrath are very much looking to do. And that's, I think, how you retain customers. You get them to get that issue 2, or to have already funded that issue 2, and then on the next time, or maybe you fund issue 3 and 4, 5, 6 on this. I have no idea, but each of those, whatever break it is, they can come back and fund you again because they want to see the finish of the story, or the finish of the arc, or whatever you're working on with Wrath, and whatever it develops into.
Right, and to kind of emphasize, you were pointing out something very important. Is like, I'm not here to bash anyone else's path. This is just, my journey with this story and how I want to do it. And everyone's got a different plan and a different path. Um, so, I'm not knocking other people for making money off their projects. That's a big part of what keeps you, like you said, going in that. And I actually have a lot of respect for you, because I think our two paths are very similar on what we want to do.
No, I'm with
That's
that
why I was
100%, because the other thing, what I've been latching on with our conversation also is the desire to communicate a deep rooted idea. Um, Again, those are the kind of creators I like interacting with, because it's about something um, more real than a lot of other things out there, a lot of other art out there, and a lot of other tales. Because a lot of them, you can tell the heart's different. It's different. It's just not my particular brand. I like meaningful, but not up their own ass. I like sometimes you can be real heavy-handed. You can actually pull a good heartstring, but that requires tact and art. I like. I think the place you're coming from um, really can matter with where the story's going to be and what it's going to manifest as and how it's going to connect with people. And so that's how I've kind of I try to back creators who have resonated with me in that way with their art, and then usually if it's that kind of creator, that kind of tale, that kind of art, the creator also has resonated with me, and that's been great. I've been very fortunate in that experience. That's why I'm very happy to do these interviews. My last one, which was also the first, was with the guys from Tom and Artie and Bite. Very fun conversation. It was a fun characters. Robert and his editor.
Those guys, yeah, those guys have a lot of fun with their comics. I need to definitely check out Tom and Artie. It's on my list.
Yeah, no, it's free to
Um,
read on Tapas. That's kind of I think how we kind of connected with each other was through the Tapas community, and I don't know. I like connecting with so many different people, same goal, different stories, different arts, different ways of going about it, different teams, all these differences. It's the same goal to get these stories and to communicate something to each other through these larger than life ideas or I said more real, so it's kind of a combination of that. It's something that it's a powerful concepts. I really appreciate those, and even if it's something as simple as humor and friendship, which is what I get out of Tom and Artie, the bonds between that, or with Wrath here, which is going to be bonds between friends to help explore hard parts of life, or with Jack, where it's just coming to terms with existing as a human, and all the weight and that comes with that if you're looking at it through a wide perspective. Um, these bigger, stronger tales. There's nothing wrong with a simple hero's journey, go slay the monster. I do that in Tracker Top Predator. That's exactly what it is. There's not a deep, meaningful arc in that. It's just going to go slay the monster. I love those tales too, but those aren't the tales that are going to grab me and keep me on them for very long periods of time. I'm not gonna, I do one arc of Tracker, and it would be very short, and it's very almost no dialogue. It's all told through panels, without basically it's all told in panel. Excuse me, I'm not in dialogue boxes or anything, signs, movements, whatever. But that only has so much before we actually adapt it, and I mean, there's infinite ways to do it, and I appreciate again just finding out those different ways, and
yeah, like you said, it's an art form,
yeah,
trying to pull those heartstrings, and it's something that I hope to master. I think I might be on to something. We'll see how it turns out. With the first chapter. But what I get the idea I'm on the right track is if it's almost emotionally overwhelming as I'm writing it, because I'm seeing it in my head as I'm writing it, um, and that's kind of the thread I'm following right now. So maybe along the line I can perfect that.
that would be very cool. I'm excited to see Wrath. I think it should fund. I'm calling it in 10 days. You should be 100% there, maybe 110, 115. And I'm thinking by the end of this, you'll probably be pretty high. I kind of hope you extend it before going into demand, but it doesn't matter if you fund. You can get the funds sooner, I guess. Um, but yeah, check out Wrath, folks. Wonderful art, very powerful conceptual basis. Um, that's really all you need, except for competent writing. And I'm relatively certain, once I will read it, I'll be able to judge better. But I'm relatively certain we have a competent writer on hand, just because of the wonderful concept and the even the writing simply in this. In the pitch, particularly again that middle paragraph there, that was a wonderful way to communicate the idea. So with that, we got like 5 minutes, I think, 6 minutes. I would love to open it up to any more questions if anybody else has more questions, and then we'll call it at the hour mark. Um, the one comment that's in chat is Gordon Knight Emissary on the subject of him being as annoying as fuck. That's what AF is. I don't know why I was thinking otherwise. I clicked on it. I find teen characters to be the easiest to make insufferable, and I do find that true because being a teenager and being around teenagers is often insufferable. So I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. And then he goes ahead and says Top Predator becomes one of our most successful IronVerse characters, and so we have to keep making him and actually develop him into something besides the Slay the Monster chemist slash combiner. No, we have a he has a we just got to do the first arc to kind of establish what he's doing, put it together, and then once everybody's in space, he's got something. We're working towards space still. We tried to have half a foot. We tried to have 1 foot in space and 1 foot in New Deadwood, and our last campaign did not did not allow that, folks. So we're gonna keep both feet in New Deadwood for a little bit, and maybe a manga teaser here and there of Cactus. But
Yeah, I was bummed. I was a supporter and
oh,
definitely
thank
was
you.
trying to get the word out too.
Yeah, no, you were
On that
very
one.
much. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was I don't know, timing, subject matter, who we reached, streams. There's so many moving parts in a campaign. That's why I respect creators who do crowdfunding too, especially since it usually ends up being a writer or if it's all in one, a jack of all trades. That's great, and they're able to run a campaign too. That's a hell of a talent. But most of the a lot of campaigns I've seen, it's a writer and then their art team, and then there's the writer's also the marketing team. And almost takes on 80 to 100% of the marketing burden. And so that's on top of running usually the art team, and on top of writing, and on
Yeah,
it's
you're
a heck of a
preaching to
thing.
the choir.
No, I know. That's why you gotta get that.
uh,
And that's I respect that very much. Having done it a few times myself, and
yeah.
it, it's a hard thing to dive into, and I think this is a great start. I mean, you've been going what, a little over a week. How long you been going?
Yeah. 2 weeks on Monday. So
11 days. So that's
um,
kind of what okay.
yeah,
So 11 days
yeah. So
in. So yeah, you're on track to fund. Uh,
we've made
so
some great progress. I'm hoping with the end of the month we'll get a good push here.
very cool. Yeah, well, there you go, folks. I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to sign out. Do you want to tell the folks where they can find you? And I'll go ahead and plug Wrath back into the stream again so folks can go ahead and back it now, not later. Don't go, turn off the stream, go get whatever kind of dessert or whatever you want, and then come back and watch YouTube videos. No, no, go back Wrath, folks. That's why we're here, right? That's why you're here. Go back Wrath. If you have
Yeah,
already,
go
thank
back
you so
ref.
much. All right, let me.
Yes, exactly. I always try to thank everyone I can personally. So yeah,
Yeah, no.
appreciate it. Everything. Appreciate you guys being here, and thank you for having me here as well.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Um, I need to do these more. And it's a tiny channel. I'm almost to 100 subs, which is great. It's a start. 10% of the way to super chats. But you got to build somehow. And quality content, good people to talk to, great projects to promote. That's a great way to help me. And I'm certainly hoping I'm helping you out. Again, it's a wonderful project. Plenty of time on it. You can back it right here. Just put it into chat. Again, do it now. Don't do it later when you forget. Because it's so much louder out there than it was last year, folks. It's a lot harder for you to get that reminder to get that comic that you'd like before it's gone. So do it while you're thinking about it. Don't do it later. If you there is no later on these crowdfunding campaigns. In my experience, you think about it one day and I'll wait till next paycheck, and then it's 3 paychecks later and it's gone. So yeah,
Yeah.
get it, folks. Get the work, the quality work out, and get it done. So you folks can find me, Cody, at Cowboy Steel on Twitter. That's where I'm gonna talk to everybody. Shill IronVerse Comics. Shill this channel. And where can we find you, Scott?
You can follow me at Kish Kuman on Twitter, and then I'm also on Instagram at Wrath Graphic Novel.
Alrighty. Well, that'll do it. Gorgonite is yelling at me about something I did put off. And no, I will talk to the Ruin team here pretty soon, Gorgonite. I had this one scheduled about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I did not get back to him. I will get back to him. He'll be the
Real,
next.
real quick,
Yeah.
since we're talking about Ruin,
Yeah.
the artist actually did a submission for the Wrath contest. If you wanted to check that out, real
Oh,
quick.
yeah, I can show that actually. I had it out for a second, but I don't know. But there it is. Ha ha ha. Oh, yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one, folks. So here you go, folks. Boom. Puppy
Yeah,
swarm.
she's a fantastic artist. So yeah, check out Ruin. It's definitely going to be drawn well, and I think that Vile is definitely onto something story wise.
Manifest happiness in the form of puppy swarm, and then of course she's gonna kill this guy with allergies.
Yeah.
That's just awesome. No, but very cool. So it's her puppies are happiness puppies, not rage puppy. Her trauma is out of happiness. That's a story I want to hear also.
I'm too happy.
I'm too happy. Dramatically happy. That's a good note to end this on. Again, thank you all for being here. Gorgonite, I'll get to Vile tonight. Let him know. I'm not sure when I can schedule it. Has been the issue. This one scheduled for a while actually, and I'm glad it worked out. But yeah, thank you so much, folks, for being here, and I'll see you on that old rusty IronVerse Comics trail. I'm gonna go ahead and see you later, folks.